Okay, in this lecture we're going to continue talking about factoring trinomials, and we're going to look at some special ones as well. Now remember that the idea of factoring a trinomial was to use the grouping method by finding the factors of the AC terms. So let's just remind ourselves of this. So let's do an example. All right, let's factor 12y squared minus 5y subtract 3. Right, if we compare this to the standard form for a quadratic, we would have, and except we're in y's here of course, so it doesn't matter, y and x are just variables. What we're interested in is what the a, b's and c's are. So a is equal to 12, b is equal to negative 5, whoops, right, negative 5, and c is equal to negative 3. So I want the factors of a times c, which of course is equal to negative 36, that add up to negative 5. Okay, so let's make a list. So we have negative, so let's put down here, negative 1 and 36. Of course we have 1 and negative 36 as well. We have negative 2 and 18, or 2 and negative 18. We have negative 3 and 12, or 3 and negative 12. What are 4s and 36 go what? Negative 4 and 9. And we have 4 and negative 9. And we're looking to add to negative 5. And there it is. So we now use our grouping. Becomes equal to 12y squared. Instead of negative 5y, we're going to have negative 9y plus 4y subtract 3. So notice we look for grouping now. There's going to be a 3y in here, and this will be a 4y subtract 3. And in here we only have a 1 really, so a 4y subtract 3. So this becomes a 4y subtract 3 by a 3y plus 1, and there's our factors. Now if we can't find factors, then we say that a trinomial is prime. Alright, so it's prime if there are no factors. Right, now an example of this would be a polynomial like this, say 3x squared minus 15 x plus 16, because if I look at this is 48 and there are no factors of 48 which will add up to negative 15, and so this one would be prime. Okay, we now will look at some perfect squares. We talked about this earlier. We actually had that x plus y all squared was equal to x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, and x take y squared was equal to x squared take 2xy plus y squared. Alright, now we want to use this in reverse. Notice the relationship here, the 2's. Alright, we're going to have x squareds and y squareds and x times y in here. Alright, so how do we factor a trinomial like this by using it backwards? So example, let's factor part A, 49 x squared plus 28 xy plus 4y squared. Now the giveaway here is that we can write this in terms of, instead of 49 we could have 7 x squared, okay, and on the end here I could have 2y squared. So I've got an xy term, okay, notice I have to have a plus sign here. And what is this plus term? Well, I'm going to need a 2 and the 7 times 2, which is 14, like so. So really what I have is a 7x squared plus 2 times 14xy plus 2y all squared. And in real terms what this is 7x squared plus 2 by, notice it's a 7x, right, by a 2y plus a 2y squared. And that's exactly this form up here. And so now we can just read this off and say, well, this is simply x plus 2y all squared. And if you FOILed it out or use this rule again, you'd find that that's what it comes out to be. Now, I've put a lot of work in there, but usually you can just see it straight away. Let's do part B. Let's suppose we have 81 x squared y squared minus 90 x y plus 25. Now again, the giveaway here is that if I write this as 9xy all squared minus 2 times, and this we're going to need to see what we got there, but let's put the 5 squared on the back here. So we're going to need a 9x, all right, okay, and we're going to need a 5. Okay, and so you'll notice here that we're going to have, this is going to be equal to 9xy minus, notice this is going to match up now with this one up here. Okay, so here's our 5, so it's going to be 5 squared. Okay. Alright, now we also had the difference of 2 squares. You may remember that we had, if I had x take y by x plus y, this came out to be x squared plus y squared. So, sorry, x take y squared. Alright, now notice that if I have something like that, we can just use that in reverse as well. So let's factor. Alright, let's suppose I have 9a squared minus 16. Well, I can write this as 3a squared minus 4 squared, which of course using this backwards now would be 3a minus 4 by 3a plus 4. Okay. Alright, let's do part B. Alright, let's suppose that we have something a little bit more complicated. Let's suppose I have 2a minus 3b squared minus 16c squared. Well, we can write this, of course, as 2a minus 3b all squared minus 4c all squared. And again, it's the difference of 2 squares here. Okay, so this would become equal to 2a minus 3b minus 4c by 2a minus 3b plus 4c. Okay, and that's how we'd use the difference of 2 squares.